What's up everybody, it's Robin Gaming here. So traditionally I always tend to go over the big PlayStation 4, updates in videos. The 4.5s and the 5.0s, and this time it's no different. Update 5.5 is going to be releasing very soon. It has just gone into beta, so some people are already able to try it out, and the update itself will be released to everyone pretty soon apparently. But you can pretty much tell that, with the PlayStation 4 right now entering its, fifth year in the life cycle already, that the major updates are starting to become less and less relevant because of course the biggest features are pretty much already on the system that people really want. So I gotta say, there's really not a whole lot to write home about, especially in this update. It's probably the most irrelevant update I've seen that is pretty major in itself, at least if we go by the numbers right, 5.5. So nonetheless, I wanted to go over it just so I could talk a bit about it with you all. So yeah, let's simply talk about the new features that are gonna be present in the update. Mind you that Sony says this is a sneak preview of 5.5, but we've seen in the past they've done the exact same thing with other updates, and it always came down to that these were the biggest features in there, and then maybe a couple ones will still get revealed afterwards that are not in any way gonna be of the same type of at the same type of level, right? So yeah, let's simply go over it. The first feature is playtime management, which is kind of meant for parents. It allows you to set a certain time that, a certain account on the system can only, play for that certain amount of time, right? So if you've got kids and you only want them to play for a couple of hours, then you can set, how long that is and when they can, and hopefully also maybe what game or whatever. So, or maybe that's actually already there, that you can of course tell them which games you want them to play or not. So yeah, that's pretty cool for parents, I guess. They've changed up the library system a bit more. There's now going to be tabs for this PS4 showing you all the games that you've got installed already, for purchased games that you maybe don't have installed yet, and now also a new tab for PlayStation Plus games. So I think it's just a nice way to, kind of make that seem a little bit more clean, because of course I think many of you, just like me, will have already downloaded hundreds of PlayStation Plus games, and they're kind of just cluttering your list, and maybe a lot of them you don't even really necessarily touch or want to play anymore whatsoever, and so then they're just taking up all that space in the library. So it's nice to now see that those games have a specific section in the library. You can also now hide apps in the library if there are, for example, what I've noticed, certain betas that I participated in, they are still showing up there, like the original Destiny beta or whatever is still part of the library. So it's nice that you can just hide apps like that, so they don't, it just makes for a cleaner experience browsing through the library, so that's nice. The couple of next ones I think are really minor. They've added some quick menu enhancements for playing music and playing background music using PlayStation Now. So if you like to listen to music during your games, then this is just, something that will enhance that a little bit more. You can delete old notifications, which I don't think up until now you were able to do yet whatsoever. So if you went to your notifications tab, it would always just be this insane list that you couldn't change whatsoever. So you can now delete those. You can import custom wallpapers via USB this time if you want to set a certain theme of your own. So if you have a certain image that you'd like to pick as your theme, you can simply transfer it via USB and install it on the system. And they've done some, they've added some customization options to the new tournaments system, which I personally have not even used yet, but apparently now for your team in this tournament system, you can now change logos and backgrounds just to customize it a bit more and make your own team stand out somewhat more. There is one more feature that they added, and this is pretty much the biggest one in the update in itself, so I find this one relatively cool, but it's only for the PS4 Pro owners, which is that there's now a Supersampling Mode on the PS4 Pro. And what that does, it's pretty much like the, the boost mode that we've seen introduced, of course, with PS4 Pro. I think it was about a year ago or something. We saw boost mode being introduced, which kind of, if there were certain games that didn't get patched specifically for the Pro, they could kind of make use of the extra power of the Pro to enhance the frame rates. So the result was that certain games simply had a bit more stable frame rates than they did on the original PS4. This is pretty much that, but instead of talking about frame rates now, this is for resolution. So it pretty much means that If there is a certain game that has a 4K mode or 1440p or whatever, now the PS4 Pro can use super sampling to downscale that image to 1080p, so that if you are somebody who does not have a 4K TV but are simply still playing on, you know, 1080p and stuff, now you'll get a bit more of a cleaner image. I don't think super sampling is like a, you know, massive deal, because yeah, you will see somewhat of a difference. Like I said, there's a bit more clarity there, but it's really not that, you know, not that significant at all, especially because you're just playing on 1080p, right? Like, it's still gonna look almost relatively the same, maybe somewhat cleaner. And so it's just, you know, it's kind of nice once again for certain games that never got patches for the PS4 Pro. If you still play those games, then it means your experience will be somewhat better. But it's, you know, once again, it's nothing to really write home about. And it kind of counts for everything in this entire update. And in fact, most of the games, like I said, that come out nowadays are simply made with PS4 Pro in mind. So if you are playing a certain game that does have a patch for the PS4 Pro, or a mode simply built from the, you know, from the ground up already for PS4 Pro, then you'll be able to experience better frame rates, or you will already see the resolution automatically being super sampled to 1080p, right? So yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. Like I said, it's not too much, yeah, too many significant features or whatever, but we'll have to wait and see if they're still gonna add something major. I would say though, once again, I kind of understand it, because right now, like I said, so many features are already available on the system that I personally really do not have too many things that I'd still like to see introduced on it. Right now, to me, it's all about the games, honestly, and so that's simply what I look forward to. The updates, yeah, that's not really that important anymore, I would say, but at the same time, there are still a couple of features, though, that I would like to see introduced, and I think that soon I'm actually going to be making a video about that. I'll talk about my top 5 features that I would still like to see on the PS4, whether that's realistic or not, because some of them are pretty major, you know. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, that video is going to be coming up sometime in the coming weeks, so look forward to that. Anyway, with that being said, that was PlayStation 4 Update 5.5. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. How do you feel about all of the features? And then hope you enjoyed the video. Look forward to that upcoming top 5 video with all the features that I'd like to still see on the PS4. And then for now, I'd like to thank you a lot for watching, and hope to see you again next time.